Hey, what's up, young people out there on the internet land and the interwebs? What's going on with you? What's up? Are you insane in the membrane? It's your boy, NKB, aka the Rocket Boy 77, back here with yet another video of EKBs Rocking Wrestling reviews. I'm really excited for today's video. As you guys know, NXT is my favorite show in wrestling, so I am so happy that the second video I'm doing is a review show for them. Especially on tonight's show, because tonight's show was actually really good. So let's just get right into it. NXT right off the bat, you see Adam Cole entering the Capitol Wrestling Center with his fake bootleg security, because him and Kyle are going to have a segment at the end of the night for the contract signing for whatever match that Regal has worked out for them. All fine and dandy. You don't wait too long to get right into the action, because right after that, we get a tag team match with NXT, one of the new NXT's newest signings, you guys know. So it starts teaming up with Io Shirai to take on Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai to build up to their solo match for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Make sure you see that on night one, main event of night one. Match solidly worked. The finish was exactly as it's supposed to be. Gonzalez won, took the pin, got the pin, and then tried to attack Zoe. Io got in, got her ass kicked. Damn near got put through the table, but just got put on the table, which is okay. Sometimes tables don't always break, unfortunately. And it would be kind of weird to do a table break at the beginning of the show, so it is what it is. But that was all good. So, moving past that, sorry, you know how I like to go segment by segment. I gotta fast make sure I don't miss nothing. So we go to the back, and now we see Kyle O'Reilly coming in the Capitol Wrestling Arena. And Roddy comes up to him, but he's rocking his new jacket, his new gear. And he basically says I'm paraphrasing, you and I got to team up to kick Adam Cole's ass. And Kyle basically goes, the fuck? No, ain't no we, ain't no you and me, ain't no us. It is me and him now. And that's what it's going to come down to. And Roddy basically tells him, you both can go straight to hell. And I'm like, right on Roddy, because you know, guys, you know how I feel about Roddy. Roddy's my boy. I love Roddy. I really hope the best for him. I hope he gets something real soon. Some sort of, not that he's hot-shotted in, because I get it, you're putting the heat on Kyle and Adam, but I hope he really does get something out of this for himself, because he's really earned it. I think he's just as much, if not more talented, than the rest of the three. You noticed before, Kyle and Adam and Bobby even got to NXT, Roddy was already going on a solo journey that everybody was excited about. He was Austin Aries' partner in the Dusty Cup. I mean, that's already a big thing. That shows you just how popular him coming to NXT was a really big deal. So yeah, I hope he gets something out of that. So then we immediately cut to another short little clip. Yeah, my boy L.A. Knight. Going to the back saying how he's going to kick Bronson Reed's ass, and that's just a fact of life. If you're giving out championships for promo game, that's the guy to give it to. He can already be the new champion of the world. So we got back. There's a lot of short interviews on today's show. We go to the back to see what is called the real Cruiserweight champion. And Jordan Devlin, the Irish Ace, saying he likes Rashida, respects Kushida. Sure, he's going to have a great match, but he's going to end that to make an example out of him to show Santos Escobar and NXT Stand and Deliver. And that's cool. That's a dream match, Jordan Devlin versus Kushida. Who wouldn't want to see that? So we immediately go back to the ring for the Colossal Bronson Reed versus my boy L.A. Knight. And I don't want to go move my move, because the bottom line is it wasn't so much the match. The match was solidly worked, as you would expect from these two. But the thing is, the finish struck me as kind of odd, because Bronson actually got the victory after the hitting the tsunami. And I said, what the hell? We all said that. We were like, what the hell? They were pushing LA Knight to the moon. I'm like, my boy just got there. In the second week, you won't give him a loss? That's kind of messed up. And I'm not a fan of that whole 50-50 booking on NXT thing. No. New guys should always be kept looking, especially if it's LA Knight. But we all like Bronson, so we all kind of got over it. We were like, oh, it's Bronson. So can you kind of really get mad, especially when he's waited for so long to get a push? I'm like, If he doesn't get a push out of this, then that's basically bullshit. So that's got to change. Okay. Yeah, so here's hoping to him that he gets something out of this. And for those of you who don't know, the announcers, the commentators clued us in. Danny Burt's separated shoulder during the tag team match last week, so they unfortunately had to drop the NXT tag titles, which is it's messed up due to injury. No one wants to see nobody get injured, but from the story perspective, that's probably the best, simply because I never was too high on those two as heels. They're just such natural faces, and the heel turn was only because they were playing stooges for Pete and McAfee. And that's no. If you're gonna be champion, you shouldn't be playing second fiddle to anybody, unless it's a tight unit, meaning everybody got their game elevated, like the Hurt Business. Like, okay, tag champions, United States tag champions, WWE champion, everybody's got something out of the deal. We all look prestigious. So I'm not all in on that. But I wish Danny the best. 4 months will go by like that. Hopefully they'll be able to get something moving, get some momentum going here. So that'll be good. But with the announcement to make up for it is we get a triple threat tag team match at TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1. The Grizzled Young Veterans stand to be recognized as NXT's #1. James Drake and Zach Gibson taking on MSK. Yeah. Zach and Wentz, formerly the Rascals. I love the Rascals in Impact. I'm a big, huge fan of that. Versus Legado del Fantasma. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. Nothing more can be said about them. But so, it'll be solidly worked. If MSK or Grizzled Young Vets win, because that's probably going to be the result, I'm all for it. This will give the tag team division a much-needed facelift. It hasn't had a facelift since the Bruiserweights were there. And maybe before that, the Street Profits. Yeah, no, that was it. So now we get to, as a result of the shoulder injury, Oni Lorcan versus Killer Cross. Naturally, that goes longer than what you'd expect, because the Oni is a great worker, and so is Cross, but, Cross usually does short matches, so whatever. He wins, hits him in the back of the head. That's getting over really good. Finn comes out, and he's basically just like, your emotions are going to conquer you. The prince is still standing, on and on, so on and so forth. Let's see what you can really do. You see the big flash on the screen, his logo, TakeOver, Stand and Deliver. You guys know I'm hoping and praying against hope that Finn loses this match. He needs to drop that title. He needs to drop that title, now, because it's really getting on my nerves. Yeah, so we get a big announcement from Regal after that. Basically that we're gonna have a battle royal next week, and the winner of that will go on to determine who will face Gauntlet Eliminator Battle Royal, And after the Eliminator is done, the winner of that will go on to Night 2 to face my boy, my hero, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, for the NXT North American Championship. And in that match, we will see Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Mad Money Cameron Grimes, Roderick Strong, Isaiah Swerve Scott, the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, LA's favorite angel, Jake Atlas, the Diamond in the Rough Tyler Rust, LA Knight, Austin Theory, Leo Ruff, and Kushida, NXT's best and brightest up-and-coming stars. So, that's hot. I'm all for that. I'm all hot. Hot and bothered under the collar for that. That's cool. I ain't ashamed to admit it. So then Kushida, who rarely cuts any backstage promos, is backstage in front of his... You know what? I never got this. Can somebody explain to me why every time they do a promo backstage, that the guy who's doing the promo always has a flag with his logo on it, always in the background? I never got that. It's cool as hell. I wonder, can I get one of those flags? Do they sell them on WWE Shop? Someone knows. Let me know in the comments below. But is she just saying, yeah, he respects him as a competitor. You are the best that NXT UK has to offer. But this is my time. It's all about competition. Can you beat the best technical wrestler in the world? I'll come back to that last line a little later. Keep that in mind. So next we see, for the first ever time, the in-ring return of the Ring General, Volta. And he'll be taking on Drake Maverick. Which basically did not happen. It was basically like less than 30 seconds. Like, it was really weird. Which is kind of a waste of Drake, who is very talented. So I feel for him. But Walter looks dominant as always. He's holding the United Kingdom Championship. Tommaso Ciampa comes out as a result of that attack that happened last week. And basically, he wants a new goldie. He says, it's about that. Which is very weird, saying that American superstar who's never been to Europe outside of Progress, challenging for the NXT UK Championship at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. But everybody was okay with it because it's a real dream match. You know, Walter versus Ciampa. The thing I don't like about this is, not that the match won't be good, because I know the match is going to be great. But they basically foreshadow, because those of you that don't know, the midday before, I think this first night or second night of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, they're going to be doing NXT UK Prelude, which is like a mini UK TakeOver before the actual NXT TakeOver. And Walter's in another dream match versus Rampage Brown. And so they kind of foreshadowed that if he's facing Ciampa for the title at UK on NXT TakeOver, that he's gonna win the match against Rampage on NXT UK Prelude, which is BS. Which is BS all around, because you shouldn't blow that sort of surprise there. Even if something nobody wants. Not that I wasn't okay with it. I was like, I think Walter should drop the title to Dragunov. I will say that to the dying day. He should drop the title to Dragunov. Just get it over with. Dragunov is the best choice. That makes no sense why he didn't already drop it. And that pisses me off every time. So basically, Pete Dunne now, he does a backstage promo with no flag. I noticed that. And he goes on about he's excited about the Sound of the Minutes Project to prove how good he really is. He's the best. He is the best technical wrestler in NXT. Now, who else said that tonight? Think back a couple of segments. So, fingers crossed we get that match. Yeah, so moving forward, we see Mercedes Martinez back with Robert Stone and Aaliyah of the Robert Stone brand that she used to work. For those of you who didn't follow that storyline, Mercedes used to be a part of the Robert Stone brand before she went up to main roster to kind of be a part of Retribution before they said, okay, now we just need one female member. Which was BS, but whatever. So, long story short, Aaliyah's partner got injured training. That was the story. And Robert's asking Mercedes, he's like, I got a new contract for you to come back and, help us win the tag titles. And Mercedes is like, shut the hell up and just give me what you up. And he said, hands him the envelope. She can't count her paper, her stacks. He said, that's half. What you mean? She's like, that's half. You gonna give me the other half after this match. He said, okay. Well, that was what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, what? I love Robert Stone. I love Robert Stone. They need to do more with him. Seriously. Him and the brand. Because at first they was pumping. Now they kind of like, you barely even see him on TV. But, yeah, so the match is going to be Shelty Blackheart and Ember Moon versus Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Naturally, you can guess how that's going to go. But before that, you see Johnny Gargano busting in Regal's office. And he's like, oh my God, Johnny is so good at his job. He's basically ranting about title eliminator, battle royal. What the hell is going on here? I said, I only have food to it. if they survive night one, I only have 24 hours to prepare for my opponent. How am I supposed to do that? I'm Johnny freaking Wrestling. I'm Johnny Takeover. I deserve more respect as North American champion than that. I need to know in advance what I can do so I can actually plan. I can prep. I can make a game plan. He's like, and Ringo's like, and kind of reverses the logic. He's like, hold up, Johnny. If you're really Johnny Takeover, you can be able to handle it. So you would be able to get it done. So what you need to do, what I suggest, is you scout every single opponent. He's like, man, dang. It's like, he's kind of like a kid that can't get ice cream after they just finished their vegetables. It's like, which is cool. So the women's tag title match ends just like you would think it would. Ember and Chelsea pick up the victory. And then we immediately cut backstage to Roderick Strong, who's getting bunkered out. He's sitting there with Cameron Grimes, talking about how much money he's got. And that ends up basically with him getting knocked the hell out. And he's still doing that. You can't knock the Cameron Grimes. You can't knock the Cameron Grimes. So Cameron, once again, NXT has so many talents that are so good, or whatever character they take on, it's unbelievable. So, move on to the dream match of the night. Kushida versus Jordan Devlin. And whew, what a masterclass when it comes to techno wrestling. You see side flips, master kicks, Kushida working away on the arms of Devlin to soften him up for the hoverboard lock. Aerial moves, a couple of moonsaults. I think at one point there was a sling blade, but I might be wrong. Jordan hit that cool roll and cut off the ropes that he does. Tried to go for Spanish fly, avalanche suplex, and at one point Kushida had him in the armbar. Then Legado gets out there. Escobar just stands at the top of the ring. But that provides enough of a distraction because Kushida goes out there to deal with it. Then gets rolled back up in that, I forget what pinning combination that's called, but he rolls up Kushida with it. 1, 2, 3. And Kushida's just shocked. So he goes flipping over, senton over the ropes, takes out Wild and Mendoza. Throws him off over there, throws himself off the stage. He's like going lunatic. He's pissed about losing that match, as anybody should be, because that was a highly anticipated match. Escobar gets in the ring while Jordan's sitting in the corner trying to compose himself. He gets up, he stands up all swole, so does Devlin. And they looking at each other. And then, what do you hear? Oh, sexy boy. And you like, what the that's Shawn Michaels, the Hall of Famer, HBK, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. What's he doing? And you think he's going to get in there and talk about the match. But instead, actions speak better than words sometimes, So he reaches in the ring, he grabs a ladder, and he throws it in the ring, and then just says, look, and he's like, and they look at each other, and then look down at the titles, it's like, and we're like, oh my God, anybody else getting WrestleMania 10 vibes? Is it Razor versus Shawn? I like that. Which is a cool way, because cruiserweights very rarely be on TakeOver anyway. So, and it's the first time they're ever going to be in a gimmick match, like cage match, ladder match, table match, things of that nature. That's not on NXT show, like an actual TakeOver. So this is good. I'm very excited for that. So and I think that'll be one of the matches that'll possibly steal the show. Who is the real Cruiserweight champion? Santos Escobar or Jordan Devlin? I think that is the question we're going to get answered. So we move now to the final segment, which is Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole sitting down there for the contract signing. And basically, there was no violence, so don't get too excited. But, the tension was there. The promo game from that Adam is going on since this has started. It's gotten better and better and better. And how about the Undisputed Era is not about brotherhood. You were never really a leader. You were always designed to be a follower. You're happy playing lapdog to me. If that's your place, he says you should know the place to stay in it. I saw you challenge twice for the title and lose. And on top of that, you tried to befriend Finn Balor, which I didn't get either. I was like, Finn Balor shouldn't be no honorary member of no damn Undisputed Era. That's nah, hell no. I wasn't waiting on that. So from that perspective, hell yeah, I'm glad he kicked Kyle in the face. And he said, yeah, so that's got to put a stop to this. This time it ends right there. And Kyle was like, it was kind of like watching. The only way I can describe Kyle's promo was, for those of you that haven't, you can look it up. The end scene between when Superman faces Superman in Injustice, the original game, the first game, and he's holding a mirror up to himself. He says, like, we're not gods. We don't get to decide who lives, who dies, who's right, who's wrong, and take liberties with whoever we like. He says, like, and at the end, you know that famous line where he said, like, Joker stole my life from me. He says, well, you stole this planet's freedom. And Kyle's like, you stole my soul from me when I joined the Undisputed Era. He's like, it's high time you give it back. Right back. And I was like, that's the vibe I got. So if that's the character they're going for, then yes, the redemption story, I guess. I'm all for that. They both sign it and then get up and it's just like, kind of throw the pen and just get something like they all swole. And they're like, no, violence, melee, it all happens. Take over, stand and deliver. Don't miss it. And that's the show. Overall, all in all, every single segment, thumb. The only thing I'm kind of like about is what's gonna happen to Dakota Kai if Raquel goes on her own, and what happens to Roddy if after this storyline is done or continues. Those are the only things I'm kind of like because I don't know what can possibly be done, but I really hope also another because I don't even know if the match between Kushida and Pete Dunne will happen at TakeOver. I really hope it does. I really hope it does. And that night too, that will kick. So let's keep that going. Let's keep that as a maybe. But overall, I'm satisfied. You guys should be satisfied. If you haven't seen it, head over to wherever you view from, Hulu, Peacock, YouTube TV, wherever you watch it. It's really worth a watch. It's a great show. Hopefully another great review. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the video, share the video. Head over to twitch.com. Check out our other videos, our own personal wrestling content. If you want to join, please feel free to reach out to me, DM me, email me, add me on Discord. You're on Discord at Johnny Organo, #9858 for more information on how to join and how to get involved in EKB Productions. Until then, this is your boy. We out. Dare to be different.